Why do you support Manchester City?
I was brought up about a mile from the original ground, about Main Road, Manchester. So it was my local team. It was where I used to go to on a Saturday. It was about a 15-minute walk. So it's something that I've always done. My older brother was a Man United fan, so I didn't want to support Man United, just to be awkward. And it was a case of he used to take me when I was sort of 7 or 8 years old.
The question all football supporters want to know from a City fan is, what do you think the Abu Dhabi group is doing to football?
On a personal note, I prefer if it wasn't involved with it. I'd like to keep the football clubs in British ownership, if that was at all possible. But we now live in a global economy. The industry is massively, sort of financial resources that are put into it to make it successful. And for football clubs to challenge for the top honours, it needs enormous amounts of income. So from a football point of view, I'm not in favour of it, like I wasn't when Abramovich moved into Chelsea. But as a City fan, if it can speed that process up so we can have success, then I'm in favour of that.
Do you believe the players are worth the money that your team has paid for them?
I don't believe that any players are worth the amount of money that we talk about these days, like £160,000 a week and enormous transfer fees. But we live in a capitalist society. That's the going rate. If clubs are going to buy the best players and that's what it takes, then it's out of the players' control. That's just the market economy, really, and that's what it costs.
Do you feel bad that it's inflating the price of other Premiership players?
I think that's just the way that the world is. Again, it comes back to that global economy. Man United fans, when they sold Cristiano Ronaldo for 80 million last year to Real Madrid, was that worthwhile? You'd look at it in those sort of types of terms, really. For them, it was good business. They bought him for 12 million, sold him at 80, developed him. That was good business. For Real Madrid, have they got what they wanted? That's questionable. They didn't win the Champions League. So only time will tell, really.
And do you think it's right that Premiership quality players do not even make your bench on a regular basis?
I think with the number of games that they have to play this year, we're probably talking about there's 38 Premiership fixtures, but with other cup competitions and up to 18 Europa Cup matches on top, that you cannot have just a squad of 16. You need to have 25, 26 players who are worth a place in the first team. So on any given day, you're going to have a bench of 6 or 7 players. You're going to have another 10 players that are not even on the bench for that particular game. For example, on Saturday when Man City played Chelsea, they only had 3 fit first-team defenders, and that's to play a 19-year-old youth player. So I think that's how it is. You need to have that quality and depth, and the strong teams will get stronger and stronger as we get players injured or players get suspended during the season. You'll have to have that squad of players in order to be successful.
Now, I know this is a touchy subject, but how do you feel being considered the second string team in Manchester?
I think for lots of people around the world, that because of the 58 Munich disaster, it brought Manchester United to the forefront of people's imagination. The Busby Babes, it was quite a romantic story. So being from Manchester, you can understand that. But I think living in the city like I did and was brought up in the city, it's a case of that there's either a blue half or there's a red half. And we don't look at it in any other way, to be honest. And what other people think, we're not interested.
So who is your favourite current player?
I don't know. It's a difficult one. I think this year, Vincent Kompany has been the most outstanding performer consistently, week in, week out. But because of the defender, he doesn't get the limelight. Carlos Tevez gets the limelight because he scores goals. Adam Johnson is a young player that's a breath of fresh air, both for Man City and for England, that shows tremendous potential for the future. So I think it's hard to say who's my favourite player, and the fact that there's quite a lot of players that are there who are working hard for the team that are making a significant impact.
And then who's your favourite player of all time?
Of all time, Colin Bell, Leginski.
Finally, what is your most memorable moment as a City fan?
Probably being at the FA Cup final when we won back a long time ago. But that was probably my most memorable one.